Hi, Suzy Rhoades with Past Masters. This week, our video is going to be a securities definition video. Our term is margin. Understanding a little bit about margin is going to help you with your Series 65, Series 66, SIE, and Series 7 exam. In no way is this video everything you need to know about margin for your Series 7. It is probably enough for the other 3. Let's look at what the word margin means. First, it's important to remember that there are different types of accounts that a retail investor can have at a broker-dealer. They can have a cash account. In addition to a cash account, they may have a margin account. In a cash account, the client must pay for the entire cost of the security being purchased. A margin account is a brokerage account that allows customers to buy securities with money borrowed from the broker-dealer. So think about that. Broker-dealers love margin accounts. They give loans to their clients, and what do they charge their clients? Interest on those loans. In a margin account, the client is required to follow Federal Reserve Board Regulation T, depositing an appropriate amount of initial equity into the account. Initial Reg T is, you must know this, 50% or $2,000, whichever is greater. So let's just do a couple examples here. If the client is purchasing $100,000 worth of stock long in a cash account, how much must they pay? $100,000. What if they're doing that same purchase in a margin account? Now, how much must they deposit? $2,000? No, 50%. So $50,000. But they're buying $100,000 worth of securities. The broker-dealer lends them the difference, charges them interest on the loan. So this amount of money that the client must deposit when buying a stock long in a margin account is much less than 100% of the cost of the stock they are buying. The difference the broker-dealer loans to the client, charging them interest as disclosed in the margin agreement signed by the client. So Reg T sets the initial margin requirement, Federal Reserve Board Regulation T. So that is the first transaction in the margin account. Over time, FINRA has ongoing maintenance requirements related to margin accounts. Long accounts must maintain a minimum of 25% of their market value long as equity. Short accounts must maintain a minimum of 30% of their market value short as equity. The broker-dealer may have house maintenance requirements that are higher than FINRA's maintenance requirements. So perfectly legal for the house requirements to be higher than 25% in a long or 30% in a short. So for the test, know those percentages. Initial equity, 50%. Ongoing equity for a long, 25%. For a short is 30%. Can a house requirement be higher? Yes. The test loves those. If a client would like to short a stock, shorting a stock is selling shares they don't own but that they have borrowed from the broker-dealer, they must do this in a margin account. You can long a stock in a cash account, you can long a stock in a margin account, but the only type of account you can short a stock in is a margin account. Not all securities can be purchased in a margin account. The Federal Reserve maintains a list of securities that may be purchased on margin. These are called marginable securities. New issues are not marginable. Open-end mutual fund shares are always new issues, so you cannot purchase new issues in a margin account. Once open-end mutual fund shares are owned, fully paid for 30 days or longer, they may be used as collateral in a margin account. So that's a little bit about margin. Let's practice a few questions together. Which is incorrect regarding margin accounts? There is interest charged on the loan balance. That is true. Any type of security may be purchased. Customers pledge their securities as collateral for the loan. Yes, that's called hypothecation. Customers must sign both a hypothecation agreement and a margin agreement. That is true. So the one that is false is the correct answer, so don't get caught up in that. Sometimes students hate that the wrong answer is the right answer, but that's what they're looking for in this question. Any type of security may be purchased is incorrect. Not all securities are marginable. So Federal Reserve Board Regulation T identifies which securities may be purchased on margin. This marginable securities list. The client is purchasing $6,000 worth of stock. What is the Regulation T requirement? So do they have to deposit $6,000? No. 50% or $2,000. So what's 50% of $6,000? $3,000. So it's $3,000 or $2,000, whichever is greater. So the client must deposit $3,000. That would be the initial equity requirement under Federal Reserve Board Regulation T for the purchase of $6,000 worth of securities. One last practice question here. All are true regarding maintenance requirements except looking for what is false. FINRA's maintenance requirement for long accounts is 25%. 25% equity, yes. It's important to remember that these percentages are equity requirements, not the loan amount. The loan amount initially is the opposite of the equity requirement. So if the test said that Federal Reserve Board Regulation T is 60%, they're not trying to trick you. They're just trying to see if you understand, is 60% what you deposit or is it how much you borrow? It's what you deposit. So A is true. B, FINRA's maintenance requirement for short accounts is 30%. That is true. A house requirement can be higher than FINRA's. True. A house requirement can be lower than FINRA's. That is false. So that is the correct answer to this question because it was looking for which one is false. That is a little bit, not everything that you need to know about margin, but hopefully that term margin makes more sense to you now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all about this topic, just ask me in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn those notifications on. If you would like to check out past master's course offerings or to enroll in any of our programs, there is a link found in this video's description. Keep up the good work. I hope to have you as a student soon. Happy studies. You got this.